nació en España, la tierra del amor. Como Dios pudiera hacer tanta belleza, y es imposible que fuera nada mejor. Y todo el mundo sabe que es verdad, y lloran cuando tienen que marchar. Por eso se oye este refrán:
¡Que viva España!
Y siempre la recordarán.
¡Que viva España!
La gente canta con amor.
¡Que viva España!
La vida tiene otro sabor y España es la mejor. En las tardes soleadas de corrida, la gente aclama al viento con fervor. Y él saluda paseando a su familia con esa gracia de hidalgo español. La plaza con sus soles y brillar, y empieza nuestra fiesta nacional. Por eso se oye este refrán:
¡Que viva España!
Y siempre la recordará.
¡Que viva España!
La gente le canta con amor.
¡Que viva España!
La vida tiene otro sabor y España es la mejor. Qué bonito es el mar Mediterráneo, su costa plana y su costa del sol. La sardana y el fandango me emocionan, porque su nombre ahí vive en el calor. España siempre ha sido y será eterno paraíso sin igual. Por eso se oye este refrán:
¡Que viva España! Lauren, you're next.
y siempre la recordará.
Just Lauren.
¡Que viva!
La gente canta con amor.
Everybody. ¡Que viva España!
La vida tiene otro sabor y España es la mejor.
¡Que viva España! ¡Que viva España!
La gente canta con amor. Que viva
España!
la vida tiene otro sabor y España.
Remember, all those are flags.
Gracias. Muy bien, all right. Here we go, let's do this. Okay, we ended up Oficina Turismo, right?
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah or nay? Where do we end up? Yeah, get high with something else later.
I was just drawing.
All right, here we go.
Hey, I think you said the truth.
Muy bien, let's do this.
You arrived in Madrid on a Saturday,
So,
but
how far do we get to?
welcome.
¿Quién eres? ¿Qué quieres?
How far do we get to?
The bracelet.
Bracelet? No, we already did bracelet.
Oh, that's the bracelet.
Yeah, we- Huh?
We were on the little left thing. They were going up and she got the hall.
Oh, so that's where we ended up. So we're just starting this one. Oh, okay. All right. So there we go. So let's watch this.
Ah, bueno, vale.
Your new friend Merche was going to show you around Madrid, but when she recognized someone sitting nearby, she left suddenly. And you ended up hiding in a rooftop cafe, where a friend revealed Merche works as a journalist. The day ended when she was targeted by a pickpocket and lost her tape recorder.
¿Dónde ponía la grabadora? ¿La ves por algún sitio? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So on Sunday, you went to the market and brought her a present to get her mind off work.
¡Qué sorpresa! Para mí.
Which was a good plan until she got a threatening phone call.
¿Quién es? ¿Quién es?
Could her tape recorder have ended up in the wrong hands?
All right.
Okay.
Here we
The tourist office.
Again, this is what it really looks like.
Really small. Maybe.
Esta es la Plaza Mayor. Aquí estamos en el centro.
I think we already saw Plaza Mayor, right?
Esta tarde en casa, ¿vale? Tengo que recuperar mi grabadora. Deseame suerte.
Bueno, me voy.
She's off to get her tape recorder back.
Que te diviertas.
But how? Tourist office, here we come.
So boom, we talked about this, right?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Any you guys remember anything?
Oh.
Excellent. All right, let's continue.
Let's have a look at one of these brochures. There are museos, museums, tiendas, shops, and monumentos, monuments. To ask about museums, for example, you say, quiero información sobre museos. I'd like information about museums. To ask when a museum or shop is open, you say, ¿cuándo abre? When does it open? And if you're given times, it could be from 9 in the morning, de 9 de la mañana, to 3 in the afternoon, a 3 de la tarde. La tarde, the afternoon, is the time between lunchtime and sunset. Never mind how late. After dark, it's la noche. When you're ready, there's a free attendant for you to talk to.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that really quick. I think, did I mention it to you? It was, we had just arrived to Spain and Malaga, actually south of Spain, the south of Spain, and it was 9 o'clock 9 o'clock for us at night, but the sun was still out. Really? Exactly. So we were like, wait a minute, what time is it? It's 9.
We didn't want to time changing how like that.
Exactly. So I mean, you're basically in another part of the world, and it's like, well, that's why they say that they're talking about the evening, and it's only night. You only say good night when what's out? When the moon's out. So otherwise, it's evening all the way till the moon is out. Okay, so that's at a certain time, like around 10 o'clock, the moon comes out, or very at sunset. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of. There we go.
Buenos días, ¿le puedo ayudar?
Have a look at the brochure. Click on the subject you want to ask her about. Museos, tiendas, o monumentos.
Sasha? Go for it. Museos or monumentos? No, you're good. From there. Monumentos. There you go.
Ask her for information about monuments. Quiero información sobre monumentos. Quiero información sobre monumentos.
No, repítelo.
Quiero información sobre monumentos.
Excelente.
Información sobre monumentos. Sí, mire, le puedo recomendar el Palacio Real. Está en la Plaza de Oriente. Es la antigua residencia real, pero ahora es un museo.
She can recomendar, the Royal Palace, el Palacio Real, which is the former royal residence. Pero ahora es un museo, but now it's a museum.
Oh, okay. Hey, saquen su acceso a internet. Saquen su acceso a internet. Y googleen, César, googleen Palacio Real. Okay? If you don't have access to the internet, don't worry, just look onto somebody else. Palacio Nacional, no, Palacio Real, España. Okay? Palacio Real, España. Sweet. If you ever have info on it, can you please tell us? Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Palace, it's the official residency of the King and Queen, right? But they don't live there anymore. It's just for, show. That's a very good question. They live, I think, around 20 miles away from Madrid. They have their little, they're obviously a huge house, but they don't live there anymore, not the palace itself. Now it's a museum. Okay? That's a very good question. I'll answer in a second. That's a very good question. Hey, googleen imágenes. Imágenes. Okay, googleen imágenes. So, my dear Mateo. So, really quick. So, why do they not live there anymore in the palace? Is because in the 1930s, we all know what happened in Europe in the 1930s, right? 1930s and 40s?
Oh,
World War II, right? Okay, so before that, in Spain, they had this thing called the Spanish Civil War, where basically the Spaniards were slaughtering themselves. It was called the Civil War for a reason, right? And one of the things that happened was the royal family were attacked were being attacked at their house. So they decided to leave. Well, what you call it? After the Civil War, they said, you know what? We're not going to use this for our house anymore because it's too pretty and so much. What? Yeah, I mean basically it's just to destroy, and we don't want it to get destroyed. So that's the question. So they decided to go somewhere else, and they said, you know what? We're going to make this into a museum, and let's see if most of the money goes back to the palace itself or to the country. Okay? They get paid something else. They get paid by the country something, right? For being a king. It's kind of like the Queen of England. Like she gets paid just for being queen. Okay. All right. So did you guys Google images and all that inside the palace? Yeah, you did. All right. Anyway, so when we were, what was it? So when we were there, I was looking at the facade. The facade means face. Okay, the facade of the palace, and on the top part, they had all these statues. All these statues. Okay. And all of a sudden, me being curious, I went up there and I started looking, and all of a sudden it's like, holy crap! Guess what statue they had there? On the far left.
it's one of those things.
One of those thingies? What's one of those thingies?
The God.
Very close. Very close. Very close. On the left side, they had a statue of Atahualpa. And Atahualpa was the last Incan emperor. Okay? He was the last Incan. And I said, wait a minute. If they have Atahualpa here, and walked all the way to the other side, and who do you think they had on the right side? They had, on the right side they had Moctezuma, which was the last Aztec emperor. So the conquest of Peru and Mexico was so important for Spain that they put both the last emperors that they conquered on the royal palace facade. Now, show hands if you've been to a palace before. Show hands if you've been to a palace before.
No, Disney Palace?
That's actually a castle.
Oh, yeah.
So, excuse me? Yeah, why not? But also if you've been inside. Which palace did you go to? Where? Buckingham? Okay. So, Okay, one of the was it years? Okay. Anyway, so inside this place is really, really cool. I mean, it's like if you've never been to a palace, you go to a palace, you're like, oh, this is what a palace is, right? So inside they have different rooms that are themed. And you had different rooms that were themed on people or kingdoms that they had conquered. Exactly. So they had the Africa room. They had the Asian room. They had the they had the Americas room. And that was the one that for me was more interesting because well, that's where we're from, right? We're from the Americas. So we went in. What? Yeah, I know. It's way in the Americas. Anyway, so what's interesting about it is the whole ceiling is painted. It's like one huge painting of what the Americas looked like at that moment. Think about it. This was 1492. So imagine that was a picture, a snapshot of what it looked like in 1492, painted. The Taino, the people that no longer exist in Cuba and in Puerto Rico. It was very, very interesting. And guess
Can you look that up, what it looked like the first
in a second. I'll look that.
How old is that picture?
You know how old is the
The
palace?
painting, the palace is very old. But the painting is probably, again, 1492. I mean, that's around 700 years old now, right? Okay. So, and imagine everything else is what type of plating? What? Gold. Exactly. Everything else was gold plated. Where did they get that gold from? From here. Okay, gentlemen. It was very interesting. Very interesting. Now, really quick, since Soraya talked about a castle, what is the difference architecturally between a castle and a palace? Let's do that. Google castle. Imágenes.
Castle and a what?
And a palace. Think what's the difference between a castle and a palace? Architecturally.
Isn't like a castle, it has like, it's flat, but then it has like the paintings, but then it's like up, flat, and pointing, and then a palace, it's just, I don't want to compare it, but
But that is a
I
good
thought a
comparison.
palace is more like a building than a castle. A castle, a large building, a brick building, surrounded against attack and thick walls, battlement, forge.
Alright, so to make it quick, what Kanai is trying to say, a castle, Jamal, a castle is built mainly for what? For defense. Okay, that's why you see those big castles like that, and that's where you see in the Lord of the Rings. A palace is made for what? Living. For living there. Okay? Architecturally, the difference is a palace. Actually, Ridge kind of looks like a palace because it's long.
That's what I was like trying to say, but I didn't want to.
No. You know, that's why you said when you said it was a mansion. It's the correct word. Okay, the mansion. Some mansions are very long and very okay. Some things there's no houses that look like castles. You know what I mean? Excellent. Anyway, so let's go to the next part. And phones. Flip them over. Okay. Not yet. All right, here we go. Let's do this.
Ask her when it opens.
Go for it, Trent.
¿Cuándo abre?
Abre todos los días de la semana. De 9 de la mañana a 6 de la tarde. Los domingos de 9 a 3.
Did you get that? Palacio Real is open every day of the week. Todos los días de la semana. Click on the day it closes early.
Okay, John. And if you don't, if you need to repeat it, just press repeat.
Yes, the palace good.
Okay.
I wonder how much it is to get in. Maybe El Palacio Real is free.
La entrada cuesta 8 euros, pero el miércoles es gratuito para los ciudadanos de la Unión Europea.
Es gratuito. It's free para los ciudadanos de la Unión Europea, for European Union citizens, but only one day per week. Did she say Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
So before we continue, first of all, show me that you know what the European Union is. Sasha? Your mom? Okay, so the European Union, just like it's called, it's the union of a lot of European countries, and like you guys were saying, I mean, commercially, and you're able to travel from one country to another without having to stamp a passport. You know what I'm talking about? Like, all the countries become one huge country. Alright? So, for example, again, if you want to go from Spain to France, you don't have to stamp a passport. If you're a European Union member, like if you were born in one of these European countries. It's kind of like if you live in New England, and you want to go from Connecticut to New Hampshire, you don't have to stamp a passport, or New Hampshire to Vermont, you don't have to stamp a passport, right, Trent? That's what that is. All right? But the question is, when was it? Lauren, you want to earn it? Go over it. Go for it. Go. Walk up there. And if you need to, just press repeat.
La entrada cuesta 8 euros, pero el miércoles es gratuito para los ciudadanos de la Unión Europea.
So which day? Just tap it if you think it out.
Not quite. She said el miércoles es gratuito. Try it.
So Lauren, check it out. You can press repeat if you want.
La entrada cuesta 8 euros, pero el miércoles es gratuito para los ciudadanos de la Unión Europea.
You can actually tap it without tapping everything else. Just
That's
tap.
right.
There you
She said
go.
el miércoles, on Wednesday, es gratuito.
All right, here we go.
¿Algo más?
Algo más? Anything else? If that's all you want to know, click on No, gracias. Or if you want to find out about something else, click on Sí, otra cosa.
Yep. It's C. Otra cosa with us today.
Click on the subject you want to ask her
You're
about.
traveling with me.
Museos, tiendas o monumentos.
Mateo? Yeah, bro. Yeah. Just don't do tiendas. Because that's not the one we're doing. There you go. Yeah.
Ask her for information about museums.
Okay, Mateo. So?
Quiero información sobre museos. Quiero información sobre museos. Quiero información sobre museos.
Hold on, guys.
museos. Tenemos el Museo del Prado, por supuesto, pero hoy está cerrado.
Bad luck. The world-renowned Prado Museum, el Museo del Prado, está cerrado. It's closed. Because hoy es lunes. Today is Monday.
Alright, so googleen Museo del Prado. Googleen Museo del Prado. Googleen Museo del Prado. Alright, if you already have some info on it, you please share it. Yeah, go for it, come on. Alright, sweet, gracias, Joan. Gracias, Helen. Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, in the world, there are 3 main art museums. The Louvre, which is where? In Paris, France. The other one is what? El Museo del Prado, which is in what city? Madrid, Spain. And the other one is which one? The last one is the Met. And in what city is it? The Met, ladies and gentlemen, is in New York. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Sasha, you okay? Yes, the Met, right? New York Mets. That's the whole thing. Anyway, so that right there. Hey, Google imágenes. Imágenes. Imágenes, isn't it? Google imágenes. Yeah, Google imágenes. What do you guys think? No, del Prado imágenes. Yes, del Prado imágenes. Okay. Yes, you're playing it. Can we see stuff now? There we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you're looking at images of the museum, the inside and the outside, and not cute puppies. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, do a little story. Teléfonos. Okay, teléfonos. Put those face down, ladies and gentlemen. So my wife and I, we had the opportunity when we went to Spain, and we were right there in front of the Museo del Prado. So we had 2 options because that was one of our free days. Okay, like we weren't traveling, we weren't like in an agenda. It was like a free day, right? So we had the option of either going into the Museo del Prado or walking all of Madrid. Okay, just free walking all of Madrid all the way back to our hostel or whatever it is. Just walk. So, my question to you is, what would you do? What would you do? What? Hey, you would have gone in. Soraya? Okay. Nicolas? Go inside. Mateo? Cesar? Go inside. Sasha? I can't hear you. Go inside. Okay. Tran? Sean? Sorry. Go inside. What about you, Fletcher? Tran? Mateo?
I would walk.
Abby? Okay, so inside or walk around? What should I do? Go inside or walk the grid? Walk the grid through your mom? Alright, so my wife and I, we made the decision of walking. Okay? We made the decision. Hey, this was the reason. Okay? First of all, we don't know when we're coming back to Madrid. Right? It was a beautiful sunny day. Summer. Vacation. So, instead of going into my personal opinion, a huge sarcophagus, a huge what do you call it? What's another word for sarcophagus? Coffin, right? Instead of going to a huge coffin where we won't be able to touch any of the paintings, you know what I mean? And just stare at them and all that kind of stuff, we wanted to just roam free. Think about it. All the stuff in that museum, you don't think I can actually look up here? All the stats, I can look at it in here also? You know what I mean? And it'll be the same type of touching. I won't be able to touch any of the paintings, right? I'll get in trouble. I'll get arrested, right? So it's the same if I had it on the internet. So my wife and I would say, you know what? We're leaving. Not we're leaving. We're like, we're just going to walk around. And we saw a lot of Madrid, a lot of stuff that I want to see about Madrid. And just walking around.
Did you eat good food?
Yeah. It was great. So, remember, this is Museo del Prado. It's one of the top 3.
Is it better than ours?
I don't know. Well, I'll answer that in a second. So, when we went back to Mexico, and we told all my family members that we'd been to Spain, to Madrid, what do you think the very first question that they had was?
Did you know what an Olympic like?
No, and no. No. The very first question was, did you go to the Museo del Prado? Not the music, not the food, not the that. Did you go to the Prado? Yes.
I thought you were going to say, did you give me something?
No. The question was, did you go to the Museo del Prado? This is the level of culture, just so you understand, okay, of my family. Right? The very first thing is, did you go to that museum? So hold on a second. So, show hands if you've been to the Museum of Fine Arts here in Houston. Okay, so you've been to the Museum of Fine Arts? Okay, so I have a cousin. He's an architect. His house looks like the Museum of Fine Arts. Inside and out. Exactly. That's the type of house he has. Anyway, so he asked me, and I just told him no, we didn't go in. Oh my God! I can't believe it! What, you were there, you uncultured brute! I can't believe your knuckles don't bleed when you walk. Oh my God! I can't believe you were there in front of me. Okay. Anyway, so that was always the same reaction from every member of my family when I said they were being like, oh my God, what did you go there? What did you like the number one last right there? It's just like you see the level of culture. Yeah, this is like really important. But obviously, but then I explained this. No, just hey, we don't know when we're coming back. We're gonna walk around, look at everything, learn this part. He's like, exactly, and he's just like, oh man, okay, whatever. So there you go. What?
You get roasted by like your entire family.
I got roasted by everybody. It was like, I can't believe you were there, you weren't able to. Oh, and I was actually in Paris, and I didn't go inside the Louvre. Yes, we had the chance, I think, but we took a tour of all of Paris, a walking tour. And the other thing was, I've been in front of the Met also. Oh.
What is up with your museum, bro? You like not want to? I don't think you can go.
Yeah, you can't go to the Met. No, on the contrary. It's like if you're there for only a very limited time, all that kind of stuff you can see here. See what I'm talking about? Exactly. I want to see stuff that I can't see here, that I can live. I can actually touch the buildings and stuff like that. It's like going to New York. Hey, show hands if you've ever been to St. Patrick's Day parade. Show hands if you know what St. Patrick's Day is. All right. I've actually been in the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York. If you don't understand what that is, it's huge. Anyway, but that's the kind of thing that we're talking about, see? Anyway, let's continue. So, so it said it's closed on Monday. Why would a museum be closed on Monday?
Because it's
Excellent. Maintenance. Whoever said maintenance, good job. Hey, why Monday?
so you can't work on if you don't
So, what?
The church at the beginning of the week, so you just have the first one and then for the rest of the week.
Exactly. Hey, so ladies and gentlemen, good job, Soraya. Hey, so what days before Monday? So what do people do?
Go to church.
Besides going to church.
Oh, clean the house.
They
No.
went there, they went to the museum.
Soraya, please.
They went to the museum.
They'll go to museums also. And what's before Sunday?
Saturday.
And what do people do? All right, so all that traffic in the weekend on Monday, they get to clean it just like Soraya and Lauren said. That they clean up everything for maintenance so they can do the whole rest of the week. Okay? All the big museums on Mondays, they will be closed. All right, let's continue so I can stop talking.
Ask her when it's open.
Go for it, Hale.
¿Cuándo abre?
All right.
Abre de martes a domingo de las 9 de la mañana a las 8 de la tarde.
Did you get that? Choose the correct option.
I'll use Fletcher.
Repeat.
No, you go up there.
Abre de martes a domingo de las 9 de la mañana a las 8 de la tarde.
Come on. Do it one time you need to, as many times as you need to. Remember, even if it's a situation that's real like this, ask him, puede repetirlo. And guys, ask him to repeat it until you get it. It is okay. Go for it.
That's right.
Okay.
She said, abre de martes a domingo. Ito,
There you go.
I wonder how much it is to get in. Maybe el Museo Nacional del Prado is free. Gratis.
La entrada cuesta 6 euros, pero los domingos es gratis.
Should have gone yesterday.
Sundays, it's free.
She says, la entrada, admission, cuesta 6 euros.
Very good
Costa
question.
6 euros. Pero, but, los domingos, on Sundays, es gratis. It's free.
So, why do you think, ladies and gentlemen, why do you think it's free on Sundays?
Turkey looks like since it went through the whole week already.
Yeah, that could be a theory, yeah. Religion, no. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta remember, this is in Europe. And in Europe, they get taxed a lot. So their taxes, the huge taxes that they get, alright, or they have to pay, the Europeans, that goes to healthcare, that goes to schooling, free schooling, and that also goes to free things like the museums. See what I'm talking about? That's when you actually get taxed. For example, gasoline right now, gasoline is what? $1.50, right? Well, in Europe, $2. In Europe, it's probably around $5. Exactly. And that tax goes back to the country. Yeah. That's why like Soraya said, that's why I wouldn't have a car. Exactly. That's why a lot of those people, they use their what? They walk and they do what? Yeah, exactly. Yes, and there's a bunch of history about them going into other countries, but that's about it. Okay? There we go. Let's do this.
¿Algo más?
Algo más? Anything else? If that's all you want to know, click on No, gracias. Or if you want to find out about something else, click on Sí, otra cosa.
De nada, adiós.
You okay, Sasha?
La calle Preciados is one of the main areas for shopping, para compras. The shops, las tiendas, close between 2 and 4 p.m. But after lunch, they stay open till 8 p.m. On Sundays, los domingos, everything is closed, except on a few special days.
Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. What did he just say about the stores on Sundays? Everything is closed. The closest thing I can actually compare it to, they said it today, like imagine that you want to go to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. That feeling that you have of sadness is kind of like the feeling I had when I was in France and we needed, well, I stole some ham from my friend. Some ham from my friend, and it was like, dude, we don't have enough ham for everybody. He's like, no, well, let's just go to the store and get some. All the stores are closed. I'm like, what are you talking about? I actually peeked because he actually lived literally next to the Kroger, if you want to call it such. And I looked and like, holy, all of this was closed. There was nothing. I went to the main street, nothing. So a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, the Europeans, when they do their Kroger shopping or their H-E-B shopping, they do it, obviously they don't have it, but they actually do, they only get what they need to get. Okay? They don't get, I mean, show hands, some of you guys actually get just like 20 pounds of ham and you only use 10. You know, like that kind of stuff. That's an exaggeration. Europeans plan out their whole meals and they're like, this is how much I'm buying because this is how much I'm using.
Yeah, I like that's American. We're so easy over week.
All right, let's continue.
You already know la Plaza de Oriente.
Yo voy a tomar un café con leche y una tostada.
This time we're here to see the magnificent Palacio Real. Despite this being the king's official residence, he doesn't actually live here. The palace is only used for official ceremonies, which means it's open to the public for most of the time. That was a nice piece of culture. I wonder whether Merche is back. This is the timetable, un horario, for a bus service. 12:30. ¿Qué está pasando? What's going on?
Okay. Escriban. Remember, you guys can talk with each other to see what do you think is going on, or no, not what you think is going on, but what happened. Okay. Escriban. So people, we're writing, let's go. Talk amongst yourselves, see what happened, who was in the video.